Hello everyone, this is Keith Ritual, and today I'm going to tell you the story about my life. I've never really opened up to people in my life. I've never been open about myself. Like if you want to know something, you have to ask me usually. And if I open up about myself, it's usually about the recent parts of my life because I'm not much for talking about my past. But I decided that why not? Because I need to open up to someone, and why not to everyone on the internet at the same time? Okay, let me begin. I actually wrote it all down here because I my thoughts get all jumbled sometimes, so I just wrote it all out so I could follow the line without having to jump around. So anyway, I was born July 7th, 1988, at Coney Island Hospital in Brooklyn, New York. Um, from then, I got taken by my grandparents because of they found my parents to be unfit, so they gave me and my sister, we're twins, figure that out, to my grandparents, and they raised us for a while. I think until we were like one or two, and then my mother took us back. Um, at that point, we were constantly moving. We were moving from the Bronx to Brooklyn to Queens, all over. I think we lived in Manhattan at one point. I have no actual idea, and I don't really have people to reference. But my mother had a thing about dating a lot of different men. Uh, I don't recall that many details about my life. Like, I remember her getting married quite a bit. And I remember, guys named Will and Danny and another Danny. And I feel like she married them all, but I wasn't quite sure. But I remember there were some that were very abusive. And I don't take any, I'm not mad at my mother for it because I know it was the 80s, she was scared, she was still young. I think she had us at 19, and we're honestly good friends now, and I do not blame her for anything that happened in my past. Um, but they were quite abusive. I remember being beaten quite often by my fathers, which I don't actually call them my fathers because I never actually had known my real father at the point. But so around third grade, my grandparents took us, me and my sister, and we moved to Woodhaven, Queens. We went to a PS60 there, I think. I remember Richmond Hill and Woodhaven. I think we lived in Richmond Hill, but we still went to PS60 because that's where we went prior to going back with my grandmother and grandfather in third grade. And I just remember having this teacher, McMillan. I think it was McMillan or Miller. And first day of class, we had a spelling test, and I had come in in the middle of the semester, so I didn't know any of the answers, and I think I got every one but one wrong. And with hers, if you miss a word, you gotta write that word 100 times each and turn it into her by the end of the week, by the beginning of the next week. And that was a 40-word test, and my little scrawny little 35-pound hand, body. I was 35 pound, maybe 40 pound at the time. Could not write that fast and that well. It was just, I was in so much pain. I remember that. And then my grandfather, my grandmother, and my twin sister, they all took pages and tried to do their handwriting as close to mine, and got it done. I just remember that was the most horrible experience of my childhood, even though, really wasn't, but it felt like it. I wrote something here, I don't remember what it means. Oh, I already said that. Okay, so I remember us taking constant trips all over the place, Pennsylvania, Vermont. I remember those. I remember getting into these books called the Bone series, Phone, Bone, and all them. But I did not understand them. I think I just liked the art because I still read them today, and I'm like, how did I understand this when I was 9? Um, so I had some cousins here in Arkansas, and my grandmother was very close to one called Angela. Her and her husband Harvey, who lived. Angela recently, I believe. I don't think it was that recently. She passed away and I went to her funeral. I don't recall how long ago it was, but I feel like it was like a year or two ago, maybe. But so they lived in Little Rock, and my grandmother loved them so much that she wanted to like live near them and get away from New York because there was constant crack files around the house that me and my sister used to like to collect because they look like little colorful light bulbs. And we used to like collect them, and then they would take them away, and we get all pissed off, and then we would do it again the next day, or whenever we could. I don't think it was the next day. But so we came to Arkansas, and went to the school called Allen Smith, where I was like one of the smallest kids in school, and of course that made me the object of bullying. Um, I was constantly bullied, treated like crap because I was a new kid that didn't know anyone. So yeah, was very into making groups. Like I would get a few people that I got somewhat close to, and we are like, we're like our little group, and like I would like do this and do that, even though it was like really boring. Like I can jump off these stairs, but like what kid didn't do that? So I remember then after like we had gone to the school around fourth grade. Like I remember it was like Halloween or Thanksgiving. I think Halloween had just passed. Thanksgiving started like 1996 or something. I had to do like real research into my age to like figure it out. But then we went to Carl Stewart Middle School, which is still in Conway, and I became very popular, but as like a nerd. So yeah, uh, in this school I was popular, but mostly because I was my sister's twin, and people usually only knew me through her. But I was like one of the nerdy kids that was like still like sort of cool because I would like interact with people. I would treat everyone the same equally. I was like, hey, how are you? And I always felt like people didn't really want to get to know me, so I usually just like sort of kept to myself. But I would still like say hello. Um, I never actually hung out with people from school outside of school really. But yeah, but I will continue that all in the next video. I'm gonna make this a several parter since there's a lot. But if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I have plenty of links to do other things in the description. I'll see you all next time, and by then I'll have shaved. But bye!